leave.
Goodbye. She'll be just fine without me.
I'm not good. I've been throwing myself into work and going out with you.
At least you guys got to say goodbye. As far as I'm concerned, Lucifer can, well, he can go to hell.
We don't need him.
Hello, bad guys.
You're here. Yes, I got a bit bored, so I thought I'd pop back up.
Lucifer's acting different.
Down there, time is different. I was in hell for thousands of years. A few things might have changed.
Lucifer 2.0.
You're back. Great.
How could you go home without me?
I'm not Lucifer!
Lucifer told me he had a twin brother.
Nice to meet you. I'm Michael. I am not going to break Lucifer's life. I'm going to take it.
He is stronger than you think.
What do you truly desire?
Welcome home. How do you like the mess I made?
For now, I'm gonna stick to police work and avoid anything God-related. Hilarious.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my Lucifer Season 5 trailer video, fresh off of Crisis on Infinite Earths. So I will address some of the crossover Easter eggs, Justice League Dark, and the Constantine stuff that they've been talking about recently. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. All the episodes, or at least the first half of the season, is going to be dropping in August. They're going to drop the second half of the season probably sometime early next year, but there are 16 episodes during Season 5. As you can see, the big twist of Season 5 is that they're doing the Archangel Michael, finally. He's the twin brother of Lucifer within the world of the show. They haven't revealed too much about the plot other than he's trying to take Lucifer's life on Earth for himself and everything that he has. Like, he's going after Chloe, he's going after his friends, literally trying to take his life. All while Lucifer is still stuck being the king of hell again, until eventually, towards the end of the trailer, you see that he makes it back to Earth, and the rest of the season winds up being Lucifer versus Michael Angel War. The main differences between the two of them, as you could probably tell during the trailer footage, is that Lucifer has a British accent and white wings, Michael has an American accent and black wings. So that's how you're meant to tell them apart when they're fighting each other on screen. But as you could probably guess, is the way these stories tend to go, when they pick up in the season and he just shows up again and surprises everyone, like, Lucifer, what are you doing back here? He's pretending to be Lucifer, imitating his British accent. So I think for the first part of the season, most of the audience will know what's going on, but the other characters won't figure out that it's not Lucifer till a little bit later. For those of you wondering what's going on with the show in general, because there was talk about being canceled, renewal, Netflix has renewed the show for Season 6, so Tom Ellis, the main characters are coming back. That will be the final season, though. They haven't revealed how many episodes it'll be, but I'm assuming they're going to drop the episodes before the end of 2021, but no word on who the villain of that season would be, whether they're going to do a bigger version of the God character, or which new characters they'd introduce, potential crossovers. All of the DC shows, for that matter, that Lucifer crossed over with during Crisis on Infinite Earths won't even be coming back till 2021, just because the virus shut down production for so long. But the whole thing with Lucifer the past couple of seasons and heading into the final seasons, his big internal conflict was his identity through the way his powers, his wings, his devil face worked. So at the end of Season 4, he goes back to hell because he's no longer running away from his responsibilities, he's accepted it, he's a little more confident in his identity, but he feels like he can't be on Earth with Chloe anymore because he's supposed to be the king of hell.
I have to go back.
So for how long? Like a couple weeks or a month or...
You were right. About the prophecy, we did get it wrong. It is about hell coming to Earth, and we may have stopped it now, but for how long? I need to keep them contained. They must have a king.
It's a lot like Thor's story in the MCU. Thor is supposed to become king of Asgard, but he wants to have fun with all of his friends, the Avengers, all the time. In terms of the dynamic between Lucifer and Chloe and how her powers work, they've kind of answered that the past couple of seasons. Like, why is Lucifer mortal when he's in proximity to her, but it doesn't work on other immortal beings? Well, the show has suggested that it's actually because God wanted to do Lucifer a solid when he became the king of hell, eventually wanted to do him a solid. He had Amenadiel bless a baby in the past that wound up being Chloe, so she has this very cosmically miraculous birth. Her passive ability makes immortal beings like Lucifer mortal again, and the theory here is it's when they fall in love with her, so that Lucifer would eventually be able to have a version of a happy ending and live out a normal life with her. His endgame could be living a normal life, bearing new children, having a normal life on Earth, if that's what he wanted. So they'll probably just finally answer that once and for all during Season 6. The show has never concrete answered that explicitly, but they've kind of implied that that's the case. There was a time on the show when he was around her and he was still immortal, so the theory there is that was just before he fell in love with her. So the minute he started to fall in love with her, that's when he started to become mortal when he was around her. You probably spotted a couple visual Easter eggs in some of the episodes during that footage too. There's 2001 Space Odyssey here, just a cool visual reference. This whole scene of the kid riding the tricycle through the hotel looks like it's right out of The Shining. But the whole deal with the Crisis on Infinite Earths crossover is that now the Lucifer TV show is confirmed to be part of the Arrow multiverse, however you want to think about it. They got kind of weird with the way they're explaining that after the big rebirth event at the end of Crisis. Before they rebooted everything, it was on Earth 666. They did a big crossover scene with Constantine because in the comics, Lucifer knows Constantine. The Lucifer comic book is kind of like a spin-off of the Hellblazer comic book.
Oh, you're gonna love her. She's pretty much up for everything.
Always a pleasure to see you, Lucy. It's time.
Excuse me, ladies. Seems like you're not the only ones who want a piece of me. I'll see you later.
Johnny!
Well, I'd like to say it's a pleasure to see you on my Earth outside my club, but it's not.
Look, I don't know if you have an Oliver Queen on your world, but ours is shuffled off this mortal coil.
A soul retrieval, blah, 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 the worlds are ending. It's all very biblical, John. Okay, I'm only doing this because I owe you for Maze.
Yeah, you do.
You remind me of my brother, by the way. Tall, dark, annoyed by me.
You gonna help us or not?
Oh, flirt. The devil always sees through on a deal.
So during that scene, they just talk about their implied history. It sounds like they've had many adventures together in the multiverse. That was why they did that. Lucifer's always been a DC character at DC Comics. The reason why they couldn't do big crossovers before was mostly just because it was Fox that was doing the show, and it was owned by another network, so there was a lot of politics and red tape behind that. Now that the show's been at Netflix since Season 4, that's not as big a deal. Netflix is pretty cool about doing stuff like that. They really only needed Tom Ellis for this scene, so it was just really quick and easy for them to do. And Tom Ellis was just a total dude and happy to show up and help out. J.J. Abrams is also getting ready to do the big budget HBO Justice League Dark series, so obviously we're doing a lot more supernatural characters. Matt Ryan, Constantine from the Arrowverse, has said that he wants to play the Constantine of that Justice League Dark series, but they haven't confirmed their cast yet. They will be filming that show next year though. The whole idea with a lot of the DC HBO shows that's different from the CW DC TV shows is that they're going to be a little more closely connected to the DC movies, but I think they're kind of playing that by ear because we have the Green Lantern HBO series that's coming up that might be connected to the Green Lantern Corps movie that they're still working on. They just announced that big Batman HBO TV series based on Robert Pattinson's Batman. That's going to start filming next year too. It's based around the Gotham City Police Department. They've already confirmed that that will be connected to the new Robert Pattinson Batman movies. Marvel's kind of doing the same thing with its Disney Plus series, like you have WandaVision, Falcon and Winter Soldier with the movie actors. Some of the new characters that they introduced during those series will show up in future Marvel movies, so I'm assuming DC is just planning on doing the same thing with their really big budget HBO series. So it should all be really cool. There's a lot of really cool programming coming next year. But everyone, let me know in the comments if you spotted any big Easter eggs in the trailer that I didn't mention during the video. It's a pretty straightforward sell. Lucifer versus Michael, Angel War for the rest of the season. Everyone, click here to learn about the Michael Keaton Batman deleted scene from Crisis on Infinite Earths, and click here to learn about that new Batman HBO TV series. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.